Good morning, everybody. I've been driving to the gym, and the whole way here, I was thinking to myself, we got to make a video. We got to keep content flowing on social media. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? And the whole way here, I'm thinking, what are we going to talk about? And, I'm like, oh, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be on point. And then I'm like getting fearful that I'm not going to have the perfect content. And I'm like, fear. That's what we need to talk about. Fear, fear, fear. Fear stops us in our tracks all the time. We think we have to have 100% to go do something. We think we have to have all our I's dotted and T's crossed to do something. And if we don't, then we push it off. Well, let me work on it. Let me think about it a little longer. Let me do some more research, and I'll start next month. Or, you know, uh, making a phone call to someone to mend a relationship, or start a business, or whatever fear is stopping you from doing. Walking into the gym to begin to take your health back. Oh, people are going to look at me. Fear stops us in our tracks. And throughout my life, I've had to battle through fear. Back in my 20s, I worked on Wall Street for a couple of years. And when we were getting our training, I think 6 of us were sitting at a boardroom table, and the manager who was training us came around and boom, 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 slams phone books down right in front of us. And he goes to the first person, you're going to go to the letter A, and you're going to go to the first name, and you're just going to start cold calling that name and every name after it. Fredericks, you're going to start the letter B. You're going to cold call from that first name on down, and you're going to spend all day doing it. I was like, oh, this is going to suck. And it did, but it wasn't personal. People didn't know me. They didn't, they weren't slamming the phone down telling me to go screw myself because of anything personal. They were just didn't want to be bothered or irritated. But it's battling through that fear threshold that stops you in your tracks. Out of college, I became partners in a tire retread shop out in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And I was partners with a retired state trooper who was best friends with my parents. And I lasted 3 years with him, and the partnership dissolved. And then the relationship between my parents and him and his wife dissolved. And then my father died in 1999, and they never showed up at the funeral or reached out to us. And that just fueled my anger even more and kept me, pissed at them. And as I sat in my prison cell getting ready to get released, I said to myself, it's been 27 years I haven't spoke to Joe. I think that's long enough time. I think my father would want me to reach out to him. And when I got out of prison, I tried to find a phone number for him. I couldn't. I found an address in Virginia, and I crafted a letter. And 3 days later, we heard from him, a phone call, my mother and I, and he drove up that weekend from Virginia to see us, and we healed our relationship and began a new relationship. But that anger and fear of reaching out and like, am I going to be seen as weak if I reach out to him? And, whatever it was just ridiculous. So I had to break through that fear barrier and send him a letter. And, it was wonderful. So what is holding you back? What is fear stopping you from doing? Is it a phone call? Is it starting a business? Is it posting on social media? Think of what it is. Think of what fear is stopping you from doing. You don't have to be 100%. Nobody's ever going to be 100%. Things aren't going to be 100% lined up in life. The stars aren't going to be aligned. Stop pushing something off until everything's perfect. You just got to go for it. And don't let fear stop you any longer. Peace.